Here we are at SSW3 with DJ Pierre, who I believe just come off the stage doing an acid house set.
Oh yeah, definitely. Acid house, some deep house, some Chicago house, some New York soulful house, everything.
With Yogi?
Yep, with Yogi. 4-hour set.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
Sadly, I wasn't able to see it. I wish I had been able to see it. I know.
Missed it.
I've been in this room all day.
Yeah, I hear you. You had work to do. I
have work to do.
You know?
I know. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, so people that don't know about.
Well, for people that don't know who I am, I'm DJ Pierre from the group Future. In 1986, we created a song called Acid Tracks, which spawned a whole genre of house music called Acid House. And you know, I'm happy to say that Acid House is still alive and strong right now. You have major artists doing it, like LMFAO, you have will.i.am, you just have Rihanna, all these cats putting acid in some of their songs and stuff, and that's a sound that was created in Chicago and that really blew up strong in London in the late 80s, and look where it's at today. Like 30 years later, it's still like cutting edge. So I'm blessed to kind of be the person that had a hand in creating that along with the group Future.
Fantastic. Excellent. So tonight, did you think the crowd were receptive? Did they sort of like, because I wasn't there, tell me what happened. Yeah, tell me how that was out there.
They were going for it. I mean, they loved the acid, they loved the deep house. I mean, it was hands in the air. It was a fantastic time. I just had a lot of fun. You know, everybody had a lot of fun and reminiscing on old tracks and mixing it in with new sounds. So it was kind of amazing. It was great.
So do you talk before you go on and do your set, you and Yogi, or do you just sort of like go on and?
Oh, I just let the music speak for me. You know, I'm like old school like that. You know, let the music do the talking. I think if you really could DJ, you don't need to get on the mic trying to get the crowd excited. You let the music speak for you.
Mm-hmm. So, but the pair of you were double-decking. Is that right? No.
Excuse me?
Were you double-decking?
Double like 2 or 4.
Well, 2. Well,
I was just using 2.
You were using 2?
Yeah.
But wasn't Yogi with you?
Yeah, Yogi was using turntables.
Oh, right, okay.
So, and I was using CDs.
Okay.
Well, flash drives and CD decks.
Okay. So you knew what you were. Give us some titles of the music that you were playing.
I played a favorite classic in Europe, especially the UK, Let the Music Use You. And I played one of my own originals, Acid Tracks, which was the first Acid House record. And I played a few New York joints, one by Byron Stingley, Penny's My Piece of Heaven, so that was a good one with David, what's it, Morales.
David Morales, okay.
Yeah.
So, right, I was going to ask you a question then, and I'm just like, oh, it's all going to Acid, where did that name come from? How did you sort of like come up with it?
You know, when we made the track, we gave it to one of the most popular DJs in Chicago named Ron Hardy, and he played the track and he made it famous in Chicago. And when the rumors got back to me about this track that Ron Hardy had, they were calling it this track called Acid Track, and we were like, wow, what is that track? Let me hear it. And when I heard it, it was my track. I was like, hold on, that's not Ron Hardy's track, that's my track. And then it's like, oh wow, well they're calling it Acid Track. They're calling it Ron Hardy's Acid Track. I said, well, you know what, we dropped the Ron Hardy and just call it Acid Track. Because if people already know the name of it, why name it what we originally named it? Just stick with that name.
Right. So
we called it Acid Tracks, and from that point on, it just spawned a whole new genre. The name was so catchy, you know.
Oh, that's just like, that's it. Well, it just happens. One of those situations where something just happens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is, to be able to, which is the question you may ask, so I'll just go into it. The acid is created by a machine called the 303, and the 303 has been around. It had been around for years before we touched it, but when I had got a hold of it, I liked the texture of the sound, and when I would twist the knobs on it, I thought it really sounded cool. So instead of just letting it play straight, I was like, no, I gotta twist these knobs. I said, we gotta record this. And so I recorded twisting the knobs and stuff, and that's really what made Acid. It wasn't just the 303 by itself, because people had it before, and it was just used for a bass line. No one was twisting the knobs as they were recording the music. They just moved the knobs to get to the right sound they wanted, and they left it alone. So it was our curiosity and creativity that led to Acid House coming alive, just twisting the knobs and stuff. Sometimes people will say, oh, people used the 303 before you guys. Millions of, well, not millions, it didn't sell that much, but a lot of guys used it before we did, but they used it to make bass lines like a bass guitar. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't mean they were making acid. So once we got it, I twisted the knobs, it became acid, the twisting of the knobs, the tweaking of the sound. Now, whether you twist the knobs or not, they call it acid if you're using the 303, but originally that wasn't what acid was.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question because I had a little chat with Spinner, as I know you have as well. Mm-hmm. And when I was talking to him, he said sometimes he dreams in music. Do you do that?
Sometimes. The funny thing though is when I dream of music, it never sounds as good as the dream. So very seldomly do I use any music that I'm dreaming of.
Right.
Like, I don't know why it happens that way, for me anyway. I'll come and I'll create, I said, nah, it sounded much better in the dream.
So you don't, okay. That's it, because I was really fascinated by what he was saying, you know.
Well, only time it really works is when I'm dreaming of music, but really it's my subconscious thinking of ideas that I had already.
Right.
You know, I don't get my music from dreams or anything, but many people do.
Many people do. So, have you got anything new out there that people can go and buy, or are you working on anything new? Or?
Yeah, I'm actually coming out with my first album, my first original album. I've been doing music since '86. Well, I had my first release in '86, but I've never done an album of all original material. I came out with a compilation album had old stuff with a few new joints on it, but basically this will be the first time, and we're pulling out all the stops. I mean, I'm with this record label called Halo Cyan, and I don't want to drop any names right now, but suffice it to say, you're going to be surprised with who I'm working with. And not everyone is going to be underground.
Okay.
So don't get mad. Don't get mad when you see me work with someone and you're thinking, what's Pierre doing work with that guy? Because you know what? No disrespect, but I feel like everybody is doing their thing, whether they're doing something that may seem commercial or whether they're doing something underground. And I think that a lot of people want to work with me because it gives them like a foundation. It kind of like makes them legitimate in a way, like saying, okay, you know what, I'm working with one of the founders of this music scene, and it gives them credibility. And at the same time, the opposite with their crowd, it gives me credibility or notoriety with their crowd. So we both kind of get something out of it, and we make sure we make something that's going to be balanced, that both people can respect, the underground and, you know, the kind of maybe more mainstream. Commercial. So.
Well,
so it's a win-win.
Win-win. So have you been to Scotland before?
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
Plenty of times.
Been coming to Scotland for years.
Really?
I've never been to Dumfries before though.
Everybody says that they've never been to Dumfries, but now you've been to Dumfries.
Yeah, you know, I kept calling it Dumfries.
Oh.
I met this guy on the plane, and he said it was an older gentleman, like maybe about late 50s or 60s, and he said to me, he said, "Oh, but when you go, don't call it Dumfries. It's Dumfries."
Dumfries.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks for the tip."
Yes, I think they would have been sort of like, well, I don't know. They might have been okay about it. It's fine, we all say things in different ways. So Weekenders, do you like doing Weekenders? Is that your thing?
Say that again?
Do you like doing Weekenders?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. It was amazing. I mean, this is my first time, and it was a good experience. You know, next year I'm going to be doing another popular festival in the UK, Glastonbury, and I'm thinking like I'm still excited, but when I found out I was going to be in a trailer, I was like, a trailer? I said, there's no hotels around. I said, no, you're going to be in a trailer.
You're lucky.
And I was like, okay, well, how about electricity? And bathrooms are running water. We got great showers and all this stuff. I'm like, but it's not in the trailer. I'm like, okay, it's going to be an experience. So looking forward to that.
So Glastonbury's big.
Yeah, I know.
It's big.
So that should be a lot of fun.
Oh, that'll be totally amazing. I think people should do one thing in their lifetime. They should go to Glastonbury. It's not on every year. It's on every other year. But they have so many people, greats.
Yeah.
There. I mean, Stevie Wonder.
Well, I know. It's well balanced, you know, but it has that what do you call it? That Woodstock feel to it.
Yeah. Do you know what field you're in?
I just hope it doesn't rain.
That's what it's all about. You have to have some really good wellies. So you need some Hunter wellies, so you can fit in with the crowd.
I think I'm gonna come with my own portable generator. I gotta have some electricity. I mean, especially if I do 2 stages. I might be there 2 different days. I mean, I gotta have my cell phone. I gotta have Wi-Fi. I mean, I'm too used to the world as it is today.
Oh, you will.
Used to my amenities, you know. I'm spoiled. I've been doing it so long. I'm spoiled. When I was a kid, just starting out, forget it. I would have went for anything.
Really? Well, now I think you'll be surprised. The trailer will probably have good electricity supply, and they'll plug you in.
Hey, at least they run extension. If they run extension cord through the window, that's fine.
They'll plug you in.
I'll deal with it.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be all cool. And we'll have to look forward to seeing you on the stage at Glastonbury then.
Definitely. Hope to see you then.
Yes, and you've been here at SSW3, and I want to thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
For coming
Thanks
in
for
and
having
having a little chat and rocking the decks with Yogi.
Yep, no doubt. DJ Pierre, SSW3. You heard it here first. Slamming.